Okay, so in this video, I'm going to try to do a really brief overview, or at least as brief as possible, of this Julius Caesar argument assignment. Okay, so if I'm talking fast, I'm doing it for your sake, trying to get through this quickly. And then in some later, or in at least one later video, possibly more, I haven't decided yet, I'll give you some further instruction and examples and information on how to do certain parts of this assignment. Okay, so this is an argument, and I realized as I was looking through these materials that it never explicitly says what you're arguing, okay? The point you are going to try to make, because an argument is trying to persuade, convince people of your thinking, is who in Julius Caesar demonstrates the best leadership ability? Or another way of saying it, who is the quote-unquote best leader in the play, okay? Now that is an argument, that is a persuasive topic because there is no right or wrong answer, okay? All of the characters have some qualities of leadership, not all of the characters, but there's a lot of characters that have leadership roles, leadership ability, but all of the characters are flawed, okay? So everyone could have a different opinion, and that's okay, and that's the point of the assignment, is for you to decide who is the best leader in your opinion and try to back that up. Okay, so this is a 100-point assignment. Let's start with the easy stuff first. A good half of your grade, 50 points, comes simply from completing these bullet points right here, following these instructions. A fourth of your grade comes from just completing the graphic organizer. Now, to get those points, it has to be fully completed, so every box is filled in. You have a quote to go with every quality, you have an explanation to go with every quote, you have this page done, and you have the counterclaim page done, okay? A different leader, a quality they have, example, quote, explanation. How does it compare to your leader that you've chosen as best, and why is your leader better? Okay, so 25 points just for doing that. 10 points comes from having in-text citations in the actual written paper. You have a place to make sure you have found those page numbers here in your graphic organizer, so you would just have to transfer those citations to your paper when you type it. You should have at least 4 citations because following your graphic organizer, you've got 1 quote per leadership quality, as well as the leadership quality for your counterclaim. 10 points for getting the right amount of paragraphs. That will be 5 to 6. The 6th would be if you do a completely separate paragraph for your counterclaim, which you don't necessarily have to do, but we'll talk more about how to do a counterclaim later. And then 5 points just for hitting the 1-page mark. There is absolutely no way that you would be able to complete this assignment well and it not be more than a page. So that's essentially just bonus points. That's just, here, I'm giving you 5 points. Congratulations. Okay. So this part is easy peasy. Half of your grade just comes from following some basic instructions. Now the other half is going to come from the rubric, which did not get posted when I posted the information online, but it is in your packet that I gave you in class. So we need to look over the rubric to talk about how the actual content of your essay will be graded. Okay, the rubric looks like this. And there should be a copy in your packet. So the first section of the rubric is for the claim. The text introduces a clear, arguable claim that can be supported by reasons and evidence. Okay, it talks about having a compelling claim, a powerful position, and text has structure and organization that is carefully crafted to support the claim. Okay, what I'm looking for there, what that means, if I can find the right paragraph or PowerPoint. A purposeful position, that just means that your thesis is specific with your reasons or qualities listed. Okay, you have a purpose in your position. You have reasons why you believe that leader to be the best. Structure and organization backs up the claim. That just means that each body paragraph follows along with that thesis. Okay, and the same order as the thesis, that comes up more in the cohesion section. So that's what we're looking at there. The next section is development, and if you look at this front page, this does include the counterclaim, so make sure you're aware of that. The big thing with development is convincing and relevant data and evidence, and effectively addresses the counterclaim. So here, if I can get my PowerPoint to go, convincing and relevant data, that's your quotes and your quotes thoroughly explained. Okay, so again, that should already be done if you've done your graphic organizer. You've got a quote, you've got an explanation of how the example demonstrates the quality. Okay, you do need to be descriptive. You know, how does that event or statement that you're discussing, how does that demonstrate a leadership quality? Okay, that requires some interpretation. It's not right there black and white in the text. You're taking a quote, you're taking a situation and explaining to your reader how that demonstrates a quality of that person's character. How does that show that they're patriotic, or how does that show that they're patient or compassionate? Okay, it does require some interpretation and thought. Okay, and then counterclaims is a part of the development, and again, we'll talk more about counterclaims later. It is just that idea of you're going to address a different leader with a different or the same leadership quality, but then you have to say, you know, I understand why you might think this is the best leader because they have this quality, but here is why my person is actually the best. Okay. Then you have your audience. Text consistently addresses the audience's knowledge level and concerns about the claim. The text addresses the specific needs of the audience. Okay, so kind of our go-to for audience anytime we write anything. Academic writing, objective in tone. Okay, it's an academic audience. Your writing style should be appropriate for your age. Okay, you're in high school, so you should have a high school vocabulary, high school sentence structure. You're a better writer than you were in 5th grade, hopefully. So a 5th grader doesn't have to be able to necessarily follow along in your writing. That would be great, but you may have a higher vocabulary than a 5th grader, and that's fine. Whoops. However, don't assume that the reader knows everything about the play, okay? You're not going to jump in paragraph 1 and say Brutus is the best leader first thing. Brutus who in what, okay? You have to kind of give some background information and explain the context when relevant. Okay, then you have cohesion, which we've talked about before. The text strategically uses words, phrases, clauses to link sections of the text, okay? The text explains relationships between the claim and the reasons as well as the evidence, okay? So again, you have a quality, you have a quote, you need to explain, you need to make that connection, how that quote shows that quality. And then another thing important to cohesion that we've talked about before is making sure your thesis is specific, that it's a roadmap for your paper, and that all the following paragraphs follow that roadmap. So if you say Mark Antony is the most skilled leader because he demonstrates quality 1, 2, and 3, quality 1 needs to be what paragraph 1 is about, and you need to have a topic sentence that addresses that topic before you start getting into the details. Quality 1 is an important leadership quality, and Antony demonstrates it well. Same with paragraph 2. Quality 2, the second quality you mentioned in your thesis, needs to be what the second body paragraph is about, and you have this topic sentence, Mark Antony also demonstrates this quality. Same with paragraph 3. So cohesion is also making sure that everything ties back into that thesis, that you're clear, your audience understands the steps you're taking in your explanations and where the paper is going. And then finally, style and conventions, that's your MLA, that's your grammar. If grammar's not your strength, make sure you have someone read over it. If MLA is not your strength, make sure you double check your MLA formatting standards, okay? And I think that's about it. I know, try to make that as quick as possible. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to get in contact with me about that. And like I said, there will be at least one more video coming out as well to give you some more instruction on how to format your paragraphs, how detailed they need to be, and that sort of thing. But I just wanted to give you an overview of where the points were coming from on the assignment, what the expectations are, what the rubric is requiring of you.